Hey everyone, I'm Katie Daryl, and today we are at home and social with Darryl McDaniels. He puts the DMC in Run-DMC. How are you today, dude?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm at home and social.
Most importantly, the question everyone needs to know, how do you clean white sneakers?
A toothbrush and, well, no, not toothbrush. Washcloth and regular soap.
Just regular soap, all right.
Regular soap, Dove. Make sure it's Dove, though, because it's gentle on the skin.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
man, you are an icon in so many realms. From fashion to hip hop to philanthropy, you have done it. And we're going to talk about all of it today. So I apologize to those that are tuning in and watching. If this feels fast, it is.
Faster than Jam Master Jay on the turntables.
There we go. All right. So help us out here. Let's play a game of what do they all have in common? Travis Barker, Sebastian Bach, Joan Jett, Sammy Hagar, and Darryl McDaniels.
We're all on a record together. Yes.
So this is new music. You got new, fresh music. The album, I think, will be dropping towards the end of the year or the beginning of the new year. Tell me about
America.
the theme.
It's called America. And we've been through a lot in the last 2 years. A pandemic, politics, of our peace has been upended and discarded and disrespected. So when you look at what's been going on in America, from the politicians to entertainment to education, social issues and everything, if you ask me what America is, for me, America is rock and roll, hip hop, music. America is music, the arts, comic books, good food, fun, and people coming together to inspire, motivate, and help each other. So the theme of DMC's New America album, featuring Sammy Hagar, Joan Jett, Travis Barker, Sebastian Bach, Mick Mars from Motley Crue, Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, who are Ice-T, Chuck D, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and Bumpy Knuckles, is all of us normal, everyday people finding the things that we have in common, regardless of our race, creed, colors, and religions, and proudly expressing ourselves so that we can inspire each other. That's the America that I know.
All right. So speaking of expressing oneself, you just name dropped so many rad people. Has anyone come out and expressed that they are angry? Well, why didn't I get a call, man? Why didn't you want me on the album?
Well,
you invited everyone.
Well, it's funny how everything came about. It started with just me and Sebastian.
That voice. He can hit the high notes.
Yes, he can. And he's fantastic. He's a wizard. He's phenomenal in the studio. People forget he did Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
That's right. That's
and
right.
Nailed it. So Sebastian is brilliant. But what had happened was, hey, DMC, what are you up to? Oh, me and Sebastian's doing this. And every artist or every musician, every creative person that hears it, oh, can I come and play? We're like little kids. Oh, I want to play. So it went from me and Sebastian to Joan to Sammy to everybody.
Let me rattle off some of these firsts. First hip hop group with a gold record, followed by a platinum. First hip hop group to be in heavy rotation on MTV, be nominated for a Grammy, be on the cover of Rolling Stone. When you hit all these firsts, did it feel overwhelming? Or were you just so young and in it that your ego is there and you're like, yeah, man?
No, it was no ego. It was like, huh? What do we do? Really? It was more like that. Like the label and management was like, yes, this and that. We was like, huh, what? Oh, okay. All right. Our thing was, can we just get on stage? You know what I'm saying? That was our motivation. I think the sincerity that we had and the innocence, because we don't really do this. Mick Jagger and Stevie Wonder do this for real. We grew up listening to their music. So for us, it's just us pretending to be them, not knowing we're able to knock down all these walls. when Steven Tyler took the mic stand in the Walk This Way video and knocked down the wall, people said, that didn't just happen in the video, Darryl. That happened really in the world. We had no idea that he was doing this at all.
Great symbolism in that video for sure. Speaking of Aerosmith, tell me about when you first got your hands on your very first Aerosmith album.
I didn't know it was Aerosmith album.
What did you think it was?
It was the album with the toys on it, and the song number 4 had a good beat, because in the early days of hip hop, before we started to record records in studios, the DJs would scratch out the titles of each record on the label so the rival DJs wouldn't see which record you was playing. So for me, it was the album with the toys, play number 4, so I could say my rap. So we didn't know Aerosmith Walk This Way was Aerosmith Walk This Way until Rick Rubin became our producer.
Well, I mean, listen, that's the important thing about Run-DMC is you guys really, I mean, you are on the forefront. You started and created the great relationship that is known as the MC and the DJ. And there's so much trust in that relationship. Yeah. Expand on that a little bit for me.
Jay is the band. The DJ is the band. The DJ is the whole band. So when Run-DMC performed, we wasn't using no playback. We wasn't using no DAT machines. There was nothing pre-recorded. When we did Live Aid, when Run-DMC performed at Live Aid in front of the world, that was Jam Master Jay actually using a disco mixer, a vinyl record, and a turntable. So it's all up to the DJ to arrange, produce, and be the foundation for the vocalist being run to perform on. So the DJ's role is to assess the situation, figure out, Jay, the DJ is to say, okay, this crowd looks a little hard today, so let's do A, B, C, D, E, F, G records. Some shows we might have to switch. Oh, put C where B is at, put C where F is at. So the DJ is the foundation. To long story short, the DJ is the foundation of hip hop.
How does it feel to know that there are young kids right now falling in love with the MC and DJ biz and hip hop, and they are pulling out your stuff and doing their homework, listening to you?
I mean, it's a great honor, and it's also a great responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
The superhero thing, superhero thing. People said, man, if you was to look up hip hop in a dictionary, remember those, or an encyclopedia. Right now, kids
bookshelf.
Remember before the computer, it was the dictionary and the encyclopedia. You had to work to get information. But it said if you was to look up hip hop, you would see a picture of Run-DMC and Jam Master Jay. And that's beautiful because it wasn't necessarily all about our greatness. It was about what we represented. Togetherness, positivity, knocking down walls of separation, bringing people together, not being disrespectful and profane. So it was what we represented that made Run-DMC so dominant that now the kids could go back and relate to a Run-DMC song made 35 years ago, because there's not just one thing to take from it. I mean, most hip hop, even in the early years, was considered Black ghetto music. And it dealt with a lot of situations. It was depressed. It was very depressing. It was dark. It was despair, and those things existed. But when I started doing my records, I knew even in the dirt poor ghetto, there's beauty and fun and lollipops and puppies and ducklings and bunny rabbits and ice cream. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nobody's talking about those things. Everybody's talking about the poverty and the crime and this and that and the gangs and the drug dealers, but nobody's representing for the kids that do want to go to school. Nobody's repping for the kids that do want to go to do read comic books. And even on a bigger level, when Run-DMC came out with our Rock Box and our King of Rock and Walk This Way, there were Black kids in these urban communities that cared nothing about the Jackson 5, that wanted to wear a Black Sabbath shirt. You know what I'm saying? That wanted to represent Metallica and wanted to represent Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, but they was hiding their Black Sabbath under the Grandmaster Flash shirt. So Run-DMC, it was our responsibility to allow people, what Nirvana's song is called, "Come as you are all welcome."
You know, we're talking a lot about kids and making everyone feel included, and that's such a great message.
Yes.
And you've opened up your empire, because that's what you run now. You have an empire. It's not just about hip hop and music. You've gotten in, your hand is in every cookie jar.
Yes, and I love cookies. I'm starting a cookie company called Darryl Makes Cookies.
You know, you can team up with Carney Wilson, because she's got one as well.
Oh, really? Awesome.
But let's talk about children's books. You
Yes.
just released Daryl's Dream. Talk about why you felt it was important to get into that realm.
Well, I see the struggle that the parents and the teachers are having.
Yeah.
And the parents and the teachers, they try to creatively and constructively and lovingly inspire and motivate their children. But social media and outside forces such as peer pressure and bullies have these children feeling the anxiety and stress like they're grown-ups. So I wanted to talk to these children to tell them two things. You are perfect just the way you are. And because you are you, that is the thing that's going to make you successful at whatever it is that you do, against all the obstacles and adversity. But then I had to figure out, how do I explain to the kids in a way that they understand? Now, my music, since day one for 39 years, I've always inspired, motivated, and educated people, not just about me, but about themselves while I entertain. So I said, you know what? The man that these children's mothers, fathers, and I've been around so long, grandmothers and grandfathers think is so dynamic, how do I let them see the greatness in themselves? Let me put the mighty king of rock, who walked his way in his Adidas along with Run J and Aerosmith, let me put him in third grade so the kids could see that I was once there just like them, getting bullied and teased, facing all the obstacles and adversities, so that I could do two things. Show them that you are, I want to give them not the permission, I want to give them the power to be themselves and understand you don't have to be like anybody else. You ain't got to follow anybody. You ain't got to be like the people on social media, because the children are in addition to the bullies and peer pressure, they look at social media and they think this, oh, if I'm not that, I'm worthless. No, matter of fact, you don't even need to be what you see, because everything necessary for you to be successful is right inside of you. Follow your heart, follow your dream. And I wanted to show kids, look at me. I was a kid just like you, getting bullied and teased and picked on, and dreams do come true.
I just wonder how you find the time, because again, I'm gonna rattle off some stuff. You are involved in so many different things. I mean, you've worked with the Obamas on the Get Fit program. You've done the hip hop public health.
Yes.
Your book, 10 Ways Not to Commit Suicide.
Mental health is very important. Yeah.
The You Will app. You're an advocate for adoption and foster kids. Where do you find the time? How do you find the focus? And how do you not feel spread too thin?
Well, one of the things that that helped me realize that that we all have the tools necessary for us to succeed. When I got to the point where things became overwhelming, I've been sober for 18 years now. The thing that helped me realize I've always had everything necessary for me to be okay is when I went to therapy. And therapy taught me this. I've been sober since I was 35 years old. therapy taught me, even at this age of 57 years old, what was exciting about life when you was a kid. You would wake up every day excited to see what the world would bring to you. That's the attitude that I have. Now, I have to be a responsible adult. But the secret is, Katie, I wake up every day like I'm 8, excited to take on whatever task or creative opportunity. It's all about creation. You know what I'm saying? You can take something that seems like not you can take a bad situation and find the good in it. And that's what I look for every day.
All right, this may not be an important question to everyone, but it is to me. What did you do with all the shoelaces? There you are. It's the 80s, it's the 90s, and you pull out all the shoestrings, and
we left them in a box. So hopefully the store that we brought the sneakers from didn't throw them away. Because, and the funny thing is, we didn't do it to be a fashion statement. We were so excited, Katie, to put the new sneakers on. We didn't want to take time to lace them up. So we would go in with the old ones on our feet, take them off, put them in a box, y'all keep it, put the new ones on and walk out the store. So hopefully there's a store somewhere in Queens when we first started buying our Adidas that kept all the shoestrings that Run-DMC wouldn't take out the store with them.
Instead of a rubber band ball, they have the largest shoelace ball.
Yeah, exactly, Emma. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely got to be gigantic now.
Run-DMC are credited with, creating hip hop's golden age. What would you call today's age of hip hop? What's the name you give right now?
The no responsibility age. And that's basically the only thing. Every generation has that music where people hate it. But there's no responsibility. And what I mean by that is, in this age right now, our children and people around us, hip hop is dictating what they wear, how they act, how they talk, what they drive, what they eat, what they smoke. They look into hip hop for validation. When Run-DMC came along, we are not the real pioneers. The pioneers is those boys and girls from the Bronx who invented this way before a record deal was already signed. But it had a purpose. The purpose was to talk about the situation we was in and then give a vision and an alternative of how to get out of that. What's happening now is they're talking about guns and the use of guns like it's cool. They're talking about disrespecting our beautiful women like it's cool. They're talking about illiteracy, ignorance, profanity, and disrespect like it's cool. Hip hop and the entertainment business is using negativity as a false sense of power. The lack of responsibility is this. You can't just make records about guns and strip clubs and drugs. If you make a record about a gun, the very next record should be not about using it. If you make a record about getting high, the next record should be don't get high. If you make a record about strip clubs, the next record should be like Tupac did. He did a record called Dear Mama. You are the reason. Right now, everybody's taking all the so-called fun elements of our existence and they're exploiting it. So I call it the no responsibility era is what we're in right now. When you get on that microphone, you have a responsibility to everybody that is part of this culture. And if you're going to make the excuse, oh, you don't say that to Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis and all these guys when they make their violent movies, if you're going to make that excuse, then get off the microphone. You can't be in hip hop. Go be an actor. Because you're doing a disservice to the communities and you're empowering these corporations to keep polluting minds with the junk. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we got to talk about crime, poverty, and the situations that exist. But y'all are talking about it like it's cool to be shot. It's cool to be an addict, and it's cool to be in jail and be dead. No, I want to be free. I want to be able to to grow and prosper. So it's the no responsibility era, because there's a lack of responsibility that is trickling down from the corporations that signed these artists in the first place. There should be a rule. If you're going to make a gangster rock record, there should be the very next record that has to be in hot rotation should be, no, don't join the gang. Yes, gangs exist, but don't join the gang.
I love this conversation. I love your outlook. I am thrilled to have had this conversation. Thank you for spending some time with me today.
No, thank you for having me. This is
the new album's coming out soon. Everyone needs to get their hands on it. There's going to be a lot of positivity, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great lessons and some vocals from Sebastian Bach.
Yes.
Hey there. Thanks for watching AXS TV. Subscribe, follow, like, and do all the good stuff. And make sure you leave a comment below. I don't know, just let us know what your favorite AXS TV show is, or who your favorite bands are, and what artists you're into, or just say hi, man. I'd like to be told hi. We love hearing from you. That's the point, all right? Keep it coming.